Who here has ever lived in another country or wishes to live in another country? The topic that I have chosen to speak on this semester is relevant as currently we all are residing in the United States and may have a problem with how this country is being run, especially when you compare it to other countries. My topic for this semester is major differences between the United States and Europe. It is a topic that I'm very passionate about and familiar with, as I have done extensive research in preparation to give you this speech today, but I have also dealt with it firsthand as I have grown up in the States, but I have family back in Europe. Today I will be introducing my semester's topic and getting y'all familiar with what it entails. I will be covering what my topic is, why it is important to me, and why I think it should be important to all of you. To get started, first I need to explain what my topic exactly is. In this section, I will be informing on what I mean by differences in Europe and the US. Obviously, when someone mentions Europe, you think about this amazing European vacation, but have you ever taken into consideration what life there would be like on a day-to-day basis? Life in Europe is drastically different compared to the US. Take the healthcare system, for example. In Europe, it's really common for majority of medical services like ambulance rides, doctor's visits, hospital stays, etc. to be completely free or at a very low cost. According to the Fraser Institute's paper on Lessons from Abroad, a series on healthcare reform in Sweden, the Swedish national government is responsible for overall health policies and provides grants in support of healthcare to regional and municipal governments. According to the Swedish Health and Medical Services Act of 1982, county councils and municipalities are responsible for ensuring universal access to good health care and oversee both the financing and delivery of publicly funded, universally accessible health care. This is very different compared to the US, where healthcare is paid for individually by the person or with insurance. The healthcare system in the US is significantly worse than that of other European countries. According to an article from the Townsend Letter for Doctors and Patients titled Expensive Healthcare That Doesn't Work by Pat Johnson, healthcare is supposed to be about improving the health of the patient. In standard measurements of health status, we are ranked around 20th or lower when compared with other developed countries in outcomes like life expectancy, infant mortality, and immunizations. Yet the US spends 50 to 200% more per capita for its healthcare. But then this country also has a higher percentage of people living in poverty than other developed nations. Moving along to the next section, where I will be explaining this topic's importance to me. For my second point, I will be discussing why this topic is important to me and why exactly I chose it. After listening to some testimonies from scholarly sources, I would like you to listen to more of a personal one. My testimony on the importance of this subject is relevant as it is a part of my life. Some differences that I will be speaking on this semester include healthcare, education systems, public transportation, quality of life, and cost of living. This is a good time to finally introduce myself. Hi, my name is Emily Nordquist, and I am Mexican-Swedish American. I have grown up immersed in a bicultural household while having aspects of a more traditional American lifestyle. My dad, being Swedish and growing up in Sweden, has had a hard time adjusting to the US, even though he has lived here longer than he has lived in Sweden now. He hasn't grasped why the US is so different from the US because in Europe, majority of the countries are all similar to that of Sweden. Things like having to pay for healthcare and university, having little to no public transportation, no sense of work-life balance, and living paycheck to paycheck is simply unheard of in Europe. So why is it the norm here? This topic is important to me because it's something that is a major concern in my life. Having to pay to be here right now to speak to all of you in order to get my degree is currently putting me in debt. If I was living in Sweden, this same degree wouldn't cost me a cent. My final section will be explaining why this topic should be important to you. For my third and final point, I will be explaining why the major differences between the United States and Europe should be important to all of you. Immigration is becoming more and more popular as the world is changing around us every single day. We've seen Californians move to Texas because they get more bang for their buck and the cost of living here is much cheaper. But there have also been a significant amount of Americans moving to Europe because over there they get more for their money. It's important to know the major differences between countries, as there is a possibility that one day you may for some reason have to move to Europe. A notable reason for moving to Europe is that number of career opportunities that are there. It is known that many large corporations are not based in the US, so you never know where life may take you, and so it's good to know about what else is out there. The benefits of living in Europe include that little to no cost of healthcare that I had mentioned earlier, free university, available public transportation, and a healthy work-life balance. Who wouldn't want to live like that? According to the Forbes' article, Do the Europeans Have It Right? Do We Need More Time Off? It states that European countries established legal rights to at least 20 days of paid vacation per year, with legal requirements of 25 or even 30 or more days in some countries. As I draw to a close, I would like to quickly recap the main points on which I spoke to you today. Today, I introduced my semester's topic and began familiarizing you all with what I have planned for this semester. My main points cover what my topic is, why it is important to me, and why I think it should be important to all of you. At the beginning of my speech, I asked if anybody has ever lived in another country or wishes to live in another country. And so now that I close, I would hope that you would take into consideration the information you heard today and keep an open mind about moving to Europe.